IPMNation.com.
Counterpunch promo live in 3, 2, 1.
Once upon a time, they awoke to the concerted effort underway to dummy them down, to the forces working at every turn to water down human wherewithal. They stood, they rallied, they drew their line in the sand, vowing once and for all to scale their spines and mortal up. That was the day the tables turned, and the universe itself sat up and took notice.
Live from the Counterpunch Studios in Columbus, Ohio, you're listening to All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy on IPMNation.com. If you're not going to mortal up, why not just stay in bed?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is not a drill.
All Natural Being. Warning, All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy is designed to shake your sense of self to the core.
It's full contact psychology with an empowering twist, a philosophical loofah for your soul.
For those of you not ready or comfortable releasing your inner superhuman, listener discretion is advised.
Here's your host,
Brian Brawdy.
Welcome. Thank you for stopping by what is now the 433rd, get out of here, the 433rd episode of the #1 rated All Natural Being. And of course, the gong heard around the world. We call it your snooze alarm's sworn enemy. Radio that sparks your smart. Broadcast that builds your strong and unleash your legendary. Because make no mistake, if you're still here, you have a legend to let loose. And we're just serving up the best thoughts first thing in the morning in the history of thinking. And I'm fired up to be your virtual hitchhiker, as always, riding shotgun as you get ready to get out of the door. So what do you say? Here's your opportunity, our opportunity together, a tag team to mortal up, to crush your cant and your critics, because it's time. So let's get ready to go kick in some doors. And then, this morning I wanted to say a special thank you again to some listeners on Spotify, because they were like, oh man, we're digging the show. It's uplifting. It's this and that. But that open, what is that, like 17 and a half minutes long? I think one of them said to me, if I have to listen to that open again, I'm going to off myself. So there is we get so much going on the last 2 days of the week, right? You'd think this is like a Monday morning with everything we've got going on. But there is what did you call it? Like a slimmed down version, right? A pared down version. The last thing anyone want to do is turn into All Natural Being and off themselves, right? So thank you for the person. You know who you are. I don't want to mention anyone by name, but you know who you are. Thank you for making that suggestion. It was very nice meeting you. And for anyone that sees me out and about, you're always welcome to come up and go, hey, I really dig the show, but did you ever think of this? Did you ever think of that? All right, speaking of being out and about, if you're getting ready, don't forget, this is our QR code. So here's how the QR code works. If you just hit this QR code with your phone, you have a QR reader on your phone, right? That little thing, a box pops up and pops up, and you hear it go, boop, 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 and then it pulls up All Natural Being over on IPM Nation, and you can hit it and then get right out the door with it. So if you're like, oh man, I have to leave halfway through the show, now we know you can just hit the QR code. It will take you right to where you can hear the rest of the show. So we're very excited about that. Oh, and I should also make an announcement that tomorrow, I've been saying for the last couple of days, I have some really big news. We decided this morning in the pre-show meeting. Yes, we have a pre-show meeting. It's mainly most of the voices in my head. I just decide to talk to myself when I get down here to the studio. But we did have a pre-show meeting with more people than are normally bouncing around in here. And we decided that our special announcement that I'm like a little kid at Christmas, right? Like I can't wait to make this announcement. Yeah, I got to wait one more day. We're going to make that announcement in a very special 1-hour episode of All Natural Being. It'll be what? The 434th episode. That comes down tomorrow morning. So Friday morning, you're thinking, oh, hey, this is how you're going to kick off the weekend. How are we going to kick off the weekend? With a special 1 hour, 60 minutes of All Natural Being. That'll be tomorrow morning. We have two very, perhaps more, but at least two very special guests calling in. And I don't want to, right? I don't want to give anything away because I just can't, but it's killing me. I got to tell you, talking about offing yourself, it's killing me not to be able to do this, but we're going to hold it one more day and do it tomorrow morning. All right, quickly, how am I doing that? I'm almost on schedule. Almost. I'm thinking, all right, so, oh, you know what? I could do this real quickly just to catch back up. If you want to give us a call, 833-MIND-UPS. It's toll free. Don't forget, 833-646-3877. 833-646-3877. You can also text us over here, and that will allow your thoughts to come straight in if you want to, and standard message rates apply should you decide, sorry about that, but should you decide to do that. All right, let's do this, and then we're going to get into lowlifes making headlines.
Sooner or later, your soul gets tired of all your crap. AllNaturalBeing.com.
I love his voice. I got to tell you, I love his voice. All right, let's jump right in. This is a good one this morning. Let's jump right into lowlifes making headlines.
Hot heads wrapped in thin skin covering brittle brains atop balsa wood spines. It's time for lowlifes making headlines.
All right, I do like that, right? It sounds like an ice cream sundae, doesn't it, with a cherry on top, brittle brains atop balsa wood spines. This morning's is Low Life Making Headlines, as I promised the beginning of the week, that it would be a very general sense, right? As we ramp up the chat room, as we ramp up the poll, and you get to vote as to a specific person, right? A specific individual that you'd like to be a low life, or maybe a small group of low lifes making headlines. We're going to do it very general this week. And this week, my low lifes making headlines are people that are ready to wrap themselves, that are always, you hear them going, well, scientific consensus, 9.5 out of 10 scientists. Well, this is what the scientific community, 257,000 scientists got together and signed a paper, blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm not attacking the scientist. I'm not saying that what the scientist says are wrong. Why would I do that? No, of course I'm saying that. And here's my defense. Forget about everything Isaac Newton believed about physics, and then comes Einstein. Forget Galileo, forget Copernicus, forget all the people that said, oh, no, it isn't that way, only for us later to find out, yeah, you know what, it really is that way. My favorite one that I like to fall back to in moments such as this, where everyone wants to wrap themselves, well, it's scientific consensus. I remember being on an airplane one time, and the flight attendant comes on and says, hey, if you don't mind, we're going to move some people around. And I go, move people around? I'm not moving around anywhere. I got my seat. I got my stuff in the overhead bin. I've checked my leg room. I got a fresh magazine. No one's torn the cover. I'm going to read it anyways, probably, but I'd like a magazine, if I do want to read it, with a cover on the front of it at least, right? There's no, like, someone's chewed gum on the back pages or anything else. Maybe I want to see the map in the back of those flight magazines. You never can tell. But in any event, I go, I'm not moving. And the young lady with the wristbands and the tie-dye shirt and the hair and everything else says to me, well, the flight attendants, all they're trying to do is save jet fuel. I said, save jet fuel? What do you mean all they're trying to do is save jet fuel? Well, you have to move around so that the plane is equally balanced and this and that and everything else. And my first instinct was, wow. I thought they would let pilots fly in first class. How do they let pilots fly back here in, like, business? And she's like, well, I'm not a pilot. right over her head. If she had been a pilot, landing gear would have been catching her. But in any event, she knows the aerodynamics of a massive airplane and how my fat little ass has to switch 3 seats to save a gallon of jet fuel and to save the seals and make sure that there's no global warming and this and that and everything else. So all I'm saying has nothing to do with global warming, really. All I'm saying is today's lowlifes making headlines. So those people, they don't want to debate. They don't want to talk about it. All they hear is scientific consensus. And here's my fallback. Do you know George Washington was the victim of a homicide? That's right. The first president of the United States was a victim of a homicide. And you might be going, Brian, really? They tried to kill him? No. I didn't say a murder. I said a homicide, right? A homicide is to cause the death of. Murder means you intend to cause the death of. But George Washington was out shoveling the sidewalk, came in, had some friends coming over, and he didn't want them to walk on the snowy sidewalk, so he was out shoveling the sidewalk, came in later in that day, had a little bit of snow in his hair, wasn't feeling 100%. So you know what the doctors of the day did? Scientific consensus of the day, the people of the day, right? You know what they did? They bled him to death. Doctors today theorize that with all the bloodletting, and they crushed beetles and made them gargle beetle butts and molasses and this and that and everything. Forget about just how gross that must have been. Wonder what kind of beetles, though. I don't know. Do you ever wonder what kind of focus, Brian? Who knows what kind of beetles? But the bottom line is they let his blood, right? They bled. They wanted to bleed the fever out of him because that was the consensus of the day. So when you look at it, consensus of the day, scientific consensus, all the brainiacs, all the bigwigs, all the smart people, right? Well, scientists, 9 out of 10, 9.5, the 9.75 out of 10 say this is the way it goes. They bled him to death. Doctors today theorize that he lost over half of his blood because they were bloodletting. They bled him to death. So scientific consensus, it's great if it starts a debate, if it gets you out in the middle of nowhere, and then you can learn from some of these other things, fantastic. But to wrap yourself and go, well, this is what scientists say. Who are you? You're not even a pilot. How did you get into business class? Oh, so I hit my little button and said, I think she stole this seat. You want to move somebody, move this woman back would be my thought. All right, we're going to go ahead. We will be right back.
You're listening to All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy, because it's never too late to take your life back.
I'm sitting here like a bobblehead, right? Going, all right, wait a minute. I got a little behind there, so let's do this. Oh, let's do a quick, we'll do a quick 60-second stoic, because this is a great one. Well, thank you so much, Brian. You're giving yourself a pat on the back now. This is a great one. We'll do that, and then we'll open the feed.
Time for your 60-second stoic. It's simple, really. Embrace the suck or be buried alive.
All right, embrace the suck or be buried alive. And this morning, what we'll call it is Brian's class of speed reading so we can catch back up. Marcus Aurelius, you know him, you love him from Meditations, one of my favorite Stoics. If you were pained by any external thing, see, it says right here on the phone. If you're pained, unless you're listening on radio, then just take my word for it. It says it right here on the phone. If you are pained by any external thing, it's not the thing itself that disturbs you, but your judgment of it, right? I dare say he would say your interpretation of it. And it is in your power to wipe out this judgment right now. So think about that. It's not the thing in and of itself that has any strength. That's why I said the other day in a post, that obstacles get their strength from your belief in them. Right? Obstacles are like this big energy suck. Obstacles are this big thing where they say, oh, well, yeah, let me see what I can do in terms of fear and trepidation and trauma and anxiety. The obstacles vacuum up that fear. But Marcus Aurelius was right in his Stoic philosophy in Meditation, saying, look, it's not the thing itself, it's your interpretation of the thing that makes it so tough. So just don't give it any energy, right? When we talk about hungry ghosts, don't give them any energy. That would be my suggestion. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the feed this morning and see what's going on over here. Sorry, it's taking me a little longer to get back over here. And what are we doing? Oh, let me say good morning. Heather, good morning. Henry, good morning as well. Thank you so very much. Ina, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Good morning. Sue B. McCann listening. Thank you very much. I super appreciate it, Sue, to get up so early for me. Thank you very much. And Linda, thank you. I made it here. Well, we're very glad that you made it here, Linda. And we're just talking this morning about, our 60-second Stoic this morning was about a thing in and of itself doesn't have the energy that we don't give it. So if there's an obstacle, if there's, we say all the time, what does it mean to be in the labyrinth of life? The ups and downs, the lefts, the rights, the pivots, the swerves, the flukes, the whims, right? Right? The sheer beauty, the sheer brilliance and beauty of the synchronicity and serendipity of it all. And we say, are there cul-de-sacs? Absolutely. Blind alleys? Absolutely. But never a dead end unless you and I decide to tap out. And maybe we tap out because we look at the obstacle and go, oh man, that's an obstacle, right? But you and I give it its power. You and I give it its formidable sense in our lives. So why don't we just agree this morning for a little while? We look at some of those obstacles, as Marcus Aurelius says, some of those things that pain us. Let's just knock it off. Let's not give it any more strength than it absolutely needs to. Kevin, good morning. Thank you for watching. All Natural Being hanging with us. We're just talking this morning, as I try to catch back up here and get on track, we're just talking this morning about not giving our obstacles any power, any strength, not projecting onto them, right? Like we know how to project onto a fear. There's a fear of something and we get all worked up and we project our energy onto that fear. And that fear looks like a massive, formidable opponent, right? Well, let's not just do that with fear. Let's say if we can do it, let's not do it with fear. Let's not do it with obstacles. Let's not do it with the cul-de-sacs and the blind alleys that we have in life. One of the greatest things about free fall, one of the greatest things is about free fall is the vertigo that comes with it, the vertigo of life itself. Good morning, Kevin. Thank you very much. I super appreciate you reaching out and saying hello and getting up. You're probably already up this morning, Kevin, but thank you for joining us this morning. All right, we're going to go ahead and run to a quick break. We will be right back.
You're listening to All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy. How much longer will you let them hijack your head and your heart?
How much longer are you going to let them hijack your head and your heart? That's what we're talking about this morning. And it might very well be, check your phone. Why, thank you, Sue, very much. I will. It's now on your page. Well, thank you, Sue, very much. So here's the thing. We talked a little bit about, personal page, where? Oh, can you give me one more text and let me know? So here's the thing. Our big announcement that we were going to talk about. I'm getting a text right now saying that it's already on our personal page, and if it's a personal page, then I guess the cat's out of the bag. So much for the drum roll. But I will go ahead and see. I'll wait for the text here and see, because that way we can spend a couple minutes making the announcement, telling you everything that's going on. But the official announcement of what I'm not supposed to talk about will probably be tomorrow, I'm thinking. At least that's the way it's looking right now. All right, so what we're talking about this morning here on All Natural Being is to make sure we don't give those things in our life, those obstacles, those things that attempt, as Marcellus would say if he were here, those aspects of fate that attempt to chop block us, not to give them any more strength than they absolutely need. And I was going to say for a moment there, than they absolutely deserve. They don't deserve any of our strength, any of our attention. And as Marcus Aurelius says, it's not the thing itself that has the power, it's your interpretation of that thing that has the power. So let's just interpret it as powerless, right? Let's not let it catch our attention. Let's not let it derail our day. Let's not permit it to keep us from putting our heart's highest priority top of the list. That's all I'm here to suggest. And I think that's all Marcus Aurelius would suggest as well. Not let that external thing in to ricochet around in your mind. You wouldn't let a person show up at your house. There's a ring in the doorbell. The doorbell rings. You say, "Oh, hello." And the person has 2 cans of spray paint. Would you step out of the way, let them into your house, and then spray paint your family portrait? Do people still put family portraits up? I don't know. Spray paint your refrigerator. Oh, that new couch, that new leather couch that you have, would you let them put white spray paint all over that? Would you let them go to the bowl of fruit on the counter and spray paint all of that? Of course you wouldn't, right? You wouldn't let someone into your home to spray their graffiti, whatever it is they want to say, right? You wouldn't let them into your home to spray paint their graffiti all over the place. You wouldn't let that happen. There'd be no way. But we seem to be okay to let other people in our minds and let them spray paint their graffiti all over our thoughts. And then what do? Once they get in and they spray paint, oh, there you go. I got to cross the T, dot the I with my little can of spray paint, right? Then we start binge thinking. Then there's those thoughts that come from the backwaters of our brain that come and go, yeah, great. I think I'll support that. This total stranger is right about you. You have to admit that person knows more than you do. You really are a screw up, right? And then your mind just goes, oh, well, let me, how are you a screw up? Let me count the ways. A little paraphrasing of Shakespeare there. How do you screw up? Let me count the ways. So then your mind dovetails with this graffiti artist that you've let in through the front door. Your mind, it'd be like a graffiti artist coming into your home and going, oh, hey, hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. I have another can of spray paint if you'd like some. It's up to you. If you'd like a can, you could help me out here and we could get this thing covered with graffiti in no time. Well, that's exactly what happens. That's what we do. Right? That's what happens to us. And that's how, when we talk about, not letting your mind be hijacked, how much longer are you going to let someone else hijack your heart and your head? And you got to put yourself on that list, because if you permit someone to hijack your heart and your head, who ultimately is responsible? If you're not going to be fate's nemesis, if you're not going to say, all right, fate, here you go. Here's your trophy. Take me home. You want a chance to chop block me? You better get ready for the counterpunch. That's all we're saying. All right, let's just take this. Oh, okay. Sue, you are so good to me. Thank you so very much. So here's the thing. It's on the Mortal Up page. Wow. All right. Well, that's good. All right. So here's the news. I'm not going to jump over to the Mortal Up page right now, but we'll have a big drum roll. We'll roll it out in the morning. I'll see maybe if Sue will give us a call and we'll kick it around a little bit. Now you can say it. All right. So here's the thing. In some of the things that I've been going up against of late, and I'm just getting a call now to say that we'll do the soft launch today. How will that be? Hopefully, and then we'll do the full official launch tomorrow. But a part of what I've been going through, and will be going through in the weeks and months ahead, is a fifth brain surgery, right? So I have some tests that are run. As a matter of fact, I have some tests today. Then I have some, right? I know you're thinking, Brian, yeah, that's a test you're not going to pass, pal, right? But I have, I have some tests coming. And so I have some tests today. I have some more formidable tests next week. So I'll have that. Oh, you know what? Let's just try this real quick and see. Good morning. This is All Natural Being. Who's this? Hello. Do I get the wrong? Oh, let's try this. Good morning, All Natural Being. Who's this?
This is Henry.
Henry, good morning, brother. How are you?
Good. I'm doing fine. How are you, son?
Well, I'm doing great, my friend. Thank you very much. I'm like what do they say? Like a Labrador that's attracted to shiny things. You know what I mean? We're just like, my mind's off. So you're calling in, and then I just got a text from Sue. But so, Henry, I thought, what a great way to announce. Sue just said to me, hey, now you can say it. It's up on your Mortal Up page. And I was getting ready to tell everybody a little bit about it. But let's check with you first. How are you this morning? What's going on? How goes the writing? What have you been up to lately?
Actually, everything is going great. Busy as all get out. Good. Writing is going really well. And hopefully we'll get this book done sometime this year. It would be nice. In the meantime, I'm just like everybody else, curious as to you and how you're doing, and I tune in as often as I can.
Well, thank you, sir.
And
what's the time there in Ecuador
and I
now?
Just miss you all.
What's the time there? Is it 7:30? Is it like East, or does? Because I know we just did the time change. So what time is it by you?
No, we stayed. It's 6:23 here.
6:23. Oh, all right. Well, thank you so much for getting up at 6:23. Hey, you know what I was thinking, talking about a lab being attracted to shiny things? When the book is done, I would love to do the audio of it. Like, I'm getting ready to do the audio for Lee Rowley's AIM, right? The Avatar Immersion Method. I'm getting ready to do the voiceover of that book, and I would love it if you go, oh, Brian, now that the book's written, or maybe, we could do, I have this theory where you do a little bit of an interview, and then the voiceover guy or girl reads the chapter, then you have the author back to do a little interview, and then reads the chapter. So that might be something you want to think about as you get closer to completing your book. An audio version.
Think about it. Are you kidding? I'd love it. That would be fabulous.
There you go. Well, thank you. All right, so now, Henry, here's the big news. I can't see it. I just got a text saying it's up on your Mortal Up page. I can't see it over there because, as you know, internet, when you're trying to get these things up and out, is so precious. I don't move anything that could actually compete with the internet signal going up here. But I just got a message saying that there's a post up on our Mortal Up page. And what I was going to say, Henry, is that some of the things that I have coming up, I'm being tested today, I'm being tested Monday, but I will go back for my 5th brain surgery in what seems as many weeks, but my 5th brain surgery in about 2.5 years to do what I can to finally stop this leaking. And obviously there's been some physical hurdles, there's been some financial hurdles, there's been all these other things. And friends of mine have started a GoFundMe page, and I'm told it's now up on Mortal Up. We'll have a big announcement tomorrow with a friend of mine that's riding a motorcycle cross country, and he's doing like a walkathon. Right, Henry? But instead of walking the miles, people will pledge as he rides his motorcycle. And he'll be calling in tomorrow morning and talking about it. Hopefully, some friends of mine that were instrumental in help launching it will call in and talk about it. But the GoFundMe is going to allow me not to be me. And I think what that means, Henry, is that I'm really going to have to recover this time, right? No more getting a brain surgery and going for a 10-mile run the following week. No more getting a brain surgery and deadlifting. No more getting a brain surgery and doing this and that. So at the ripe old age of 49, like 10 times over, I have to admit this time that I'm getting older and that this brain surgery, I guess it's a big deal. I guess it's big stuff, this brain surgery stuff. Have you heard that?
That's a rumor.
It's a rumor.
The rumor has it.
It's a big deal, brother. I wouldn't, right? I was like, oh, what, would you like a manicure, a pedicure, or a 5th brain surgery?
And of course, you choose door 3. Don't
yeah, it's door number 3, right? Because I'm always into the hat trick, as you know, right? So, yeah, okay, great. Door number 3. Here's the brain surgery. So, in any event, we'll have a big news tomorrow. Let me say good morning to Leanne. Leanne, thank you so very much for joining us. It's up on the Mortal Up Facebook page now. We'll be working on some creative ways of getting the message out there today, but it will allow me a chance to recover. It will allow me to continue to work on the audio. And what I'd like to do for the people that are into the GoFundMe, Henry, is that, to do updates. There'll be a private Facebook page. I think the hashtag is Brian Brain Trust. Hashtag Brian Brain Trust. Yeah, so that'll be up, and I guess it's, as I'm just told, it's up now, and then we'll work to build on it throughout the day to let everybody know more about it, and then we'll continue to do audio. I have a little audio thing. I'd like to do audio right before I go under the knife. They go, oh, just breathe in here. And has been the case whenever I take general anesthesia, like 30 seconds later, I don't even know where I am. So I'd like to record audio right up to that point where I don't know where I am. Which, oddly enough, Henry, will be just like these morning shows. So in any event, that's what it is. Good morning to Lee Rowley from. Hey, and Lee, I was just mentioning you from the Avatar Immersion Method, and I was just saying to Henry that I'll be voicing over. We're getting ready to voice over your book here not too long. So continued success with that, Lee. But also, Henry, I just wanted to thank you for calling in and sharing that announcement with me. There will be no audio before the surgery, my friend. No, sir. So, Sue. she's probably on the talk. Yeah, I know. Hey, listen, I will tell you, Ashley has said before, look, you ever want to get Brian to do one thing or another, just dial Sue and hand her the phone. Sue and I have been friends for a lot of years. And when Sue walks in a room, I sit up straight, right? Sue's here, right? It's like at ease. You remember this in the military. At ease, I'll be in the area all day. When Sue's in, I'm like, okay. Oh, and she was my producer at CBS, so she would be the one going, come on, Brian, can you at least act like an adult?
Wow, you got to go back a long way then.
That's right. We go back a long way. And I value her opinion tremendously. So it's when she says there'll be no, and she capitalizes no audio before surgery, my friend. No, sir. Lee says, hey, I got to catch the replay. Lee wants to know, hey, did he really mention my name before I got here? Yes, I did. But he says he's got to catch the replay. And hello, everyone, by the way. So, Lee, hello to you as well. All right, Henry, we're going to let you go. Thank you so very much for sharing this announcement with me, brother. And tomorrow morning, my friend who's doing the motorcycle trip, and I'd love to catch up with you throughout the day. So, when I think of creativity, I was just going to say you can't spell Henry without the... Oh, look, you can't spell Henry without the Y in creativity. Does creativity have a Y? I think it has a Y, right? So maybe you'll help me throughout the day going, what are some creative ways we can launch this? So I'll let you go, brother. Please tell Rita we said hello, and I'll look forward to catching up with you in just a bit.
You got it.
All right,
man.
brother. Thanks for everything. I love you too. All right, man. Bye now. All right, Henry Noel calling in, taking some time off from writing his book. So I've blathered on. My apologies, but we're going to go ahead and go. We'll save the early morning meme for tomorrow morning, but we're going to go ahead and get out of here. If you have an opportunity, don't forget you can stop over to brianbrody.com, allnaturalbeing.com, mortalup.com, and we can catch up there as well. But we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning for a full hour of All Natural Being. We're out of here.
You've been listening to All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy.
Join us live every Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 a.m. Eastern.
Also, check us out around the clock at allnaturalbeing.com.
Until then, always remember to bring your own bold.
IPMNation.com.